What's up, guys? It's CoachMattLord here, and this is what nobody tells you about being a former D1 athlete. And the hard part isn't the workouts. It's not the 6 a.m. lifts. It's not the conditioning. It's not the pressure. The hardest part is when it's over. You know, I played Division I tennis at UVA. Everything in my life revolved around performance, my schedule, my identity, my friends, my self-worth, if I'm being honest. And then one day, you're just not that anymore. You're not the athlete. You're not traveling. You're not competing every weekend. There's no locker room. There's no team gear. There's no lineup. And if you're not careful, you start feeling lost. So here are 3 things that I think former D1 athletes get wrong after sports. Let's get into it. Number 1, identity shift and the ego that comes with it. When you play at a D1, D2, D3 sports, especially at a high level program, it becomes your identity whether you admit it or not. You walk into rooms differently, you carry yourself differently. You're used to being respected for something. Your schedule revolves around performance. Your body reflects discipline. Your social circle is built around the team, and then it's over. Now you walk into a corporate office and no one cares that you're D1. You're not special anymore. You're just another guy trying to figure it out. That hits the ego. It hit my ego. And then when a lot of former athletes struggle is because they're grieving the identity and pretending that it's not. You can't build a new version of yourself if you're still clinging to the old one. I had to ask myself, was I attached to being elite or was I committed to living elite? There's a big difference. The jersey doesn't make you elite. The number you played on the lineup doesn't make you elite. Your standards do. And if your standards disappear when your spotlight does, it was never really you. And if you guys didn't know, I'm the graduate assistant coach for the men's and women's tennis teams at George Mason. It's super fun. I love to be a part of a team culture again and bringing what I learned from UVA over to George Mason, hopefully change the culture, hopefully bring them a better future ahead. And so far they're doing great. I'm going to be playing a set against Denise. He plays number 1 on the men's team. This is how I get my cardio, but I'm still going to beat his ass, and I'm looking forward to it. Just kidding. It's the first nice day of 2026. Playing outside. What's up? Down 5-4. He's up a break. I need a break back. Come on now. Woo! Guys, I'm exhausted. I actually won that match. I only had the first half, the first set recorded, but it was 4-6, 6-3, tiebreaker, 12-10. Absolute battle. Dennis is an absolute beast, but I can't lose, man. I told him I was gonna beat his ass. I told him. All right, let's get to work now. All right, just got to work. Got the girls' practice right now, but a little bit late. Let's go number 2. You lose the environment that enforces greatness. When you're playing at a D1 level, D2 level, D3 level, it just doesn't build discipline, it enforces it. You don't feel like lifting, you lift anyways. You don't want to practice, too bad, it's happening. There's a built-in ecosystem of accountability. You got coaches watching, you got teammates watching, you got competition daily. The standards are not optional. You have to do the work. After college, the ecosystem disappears overnight. Now the alarm doesn't go off at 5:30 a.m. No one's checking on you to check on your conditioning. You don't have any trainers that are checking on your body. No one's timing your sprints. No one's holding your body fat standards. No one's forcing growth. And this is where a lot of former athletes start to decline. Not because they're weak, it's because they were used to external structure. Being in college, the discipline is automatic, and in adulthood, discipline is self-generated. You have to have a reason to become great, and that's where you have to have a different level of accountability towards yourself. You have to build that yourself. You have to build your own environment. You have to build and slowly adapt, or else you're going to become average. And average for most athletes feels like suffocating when you're lived at a high standard your whole life. All right, let's get to work. Just finished a long day at work. I'm so happy it's Friday, but let's get into point number 3. Thinking life should still feel intense. Playing athletics gives you dopamine weekly. You got big matches, adrenaline, you got the crowds, you're traveling, your team wins, you got instant validation, and real life doesn't hit like that. Maybe social media does, but not actual real life. Progress is slow, recognition is rare, the growth is quiet. And it's interesting because you could work your ass off for a whole year and have nothing really flashy to show for it. And that frustrates former athletes because, we're wired for competition. We're wired for measurable outcomes, and we're wired for feedback, right? But real life winning looks like you're building something for years and have nothing to show for it. You're staying consistent when no one's watching. You're choosing discipline without an audience. And you're outgrowing people who peaked at 21 years old. I'm 27 now, and I think I'm way better than I was when I was back in college. There's no scoreboard anymore. So you have to redefine what winning means for yourself. And for me, winning isn't winning a match. It's waking up discipline, building up my business, training when no one's watching, and essentially helping younger athletes not make the same mistakes that I did. And that's a different type of competition. It's the competition with myself. Here's what I believe. I believe that being a former athlete is not your peak, it's your foundation. And the sport was never meant to be the destination, it was the preparation. Let me say that again. Ooh, that was nice. Being a former athlete was not your peak, it was the foundation. The sport was never meant to be the destination, it was the preparation. And if you're stuck missing the past, you're disrespecting what it built inside you. The edge doesn't disappear. The structure did, the applause did, the spotlight did, but that's where you have to recreate the standard without the stage. And that's where the real growth begins. Guys, this is Coach MattLord here. Thank you so much for watching, and we out. Peace.